Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of
Mr. Sam's Feel the Shine.
You've been asking, we got Sam back, and today we're gonna be going over clay barring on his beautiful, tell us what it is.
It's a 1964 El Camino, which in that period they called it Chevelle. It's like had the Chevelle badging on the front, El Camino badging on the rear till they decided kind of what they were gonna do. But it's a real 64 El Camino.
So he's really excited to tell you more about his detailing experience and what you need to learn in order to be able to tell when your car needs to be clay barred. So we're gonna go over how to tell when it needs to be done and then actually showing you the process for which Sam's been doing for years, right?
That's exactly right. That's what we're gonna do.
All right, let's get to it.
Let's begin the process.
Well, first off, we gotta show him the car. She's a beauty. How long have you had this thing?
Oh, I've only had this car about, this is going on 10 years on this car. So
Okay.
not a long time in the car world, but then a long time in the car world. But,
Right.
you know.
All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna simulate washing the car.
That's correct, that's correct. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this particular one, this is your clay lube, but it's gonna suffice as just like we were simulating a wash here. So we're gonna spray it on, of course, take our towel and wipe it off. And that would be the same as if you just took in and washed the car. And what I'm trying to do, or I'm trying to do, what I'm doing, is to get anything off the surface that will come off the surface under a regular wash. With that said, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's put this onto here.
So we're just simulating as if you wash your car any other time, whether it be with soapy water. Sam's just using this. And then we're gonna show you how to tell when your car needs to be clay barred.
Think the car didn't need washing? All
Right.
With that said and done, a lot of times you mention to somebody, your car needs clay bar, and they're gonna say, really, what's that and why? After you've simulated the wash, you feel and you think, well, I don't feel bad.
Let me feel it. Yeah, it feels great.
Then you say, well, okay.
This is the trick I've been
This is
really.
a nice bag here.
Okay.
So what you wanna do is, it's just taking the feel away from your fingers, then it comes to
Okay.
you. So you wanna put it on your surface, and you run it along and think, oh, what is that? Now, if you will, put your hand in here.
Yep.
Now run it along, just glide it along the surface.
Oh, wow.
Feel all them bumps?
It's a completely different feel.
Well, that lets you know there's something on that surface that did not come off with your wash. So
It
now
feels smooth with my fingers. And then
Exactly.
when I use a plastic bag, it's a completely different feel.
it feels real bumpy.
It does.
Well, imagine this. If you leave that and put your wax on it, be it spray wax or cream wax or whatever wax you got, you're really just waxing the contaminants. So now that when you come back and wash it or whatever, you just wash it right back off again. Give your wax a bad name. So let's give the wax its due. The wax is to go on the clear coat, or if it's a single stage, to go right on to the paint itself. So let's give it a fair chance at it. So now then, with that said, let's take our clay bar.
Yep.
And now there's many grades of the clay bar.
Okay.
I use the, what they call superfine, and you're gonna have some that rough, but you don't want your clay bar leaving a mark in your surface on the thing. Now this one here is gonna be, if you'll,
I feel it. It feels like clay.
feels like clay, feels kind of tacky. So this is a, what they call a 100-gram bar. You can buy them in 200-gram bars and whatever on it. And you're gonna take you a clay lube, and what it is, it's to add lubricity, how about that big word?
Lubricity.
To your surface.
I
Just
like it.
so, you know, I usually put some on my surface.
Because you can't just rub the clay bar on a dry surface.
On a dry surface, it'll just bunch up.
Yep.
You know, and you don't want that. It doesn't do any good. So you want to have it where it glides along your surface,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to do it in linear fashion, front to back.
Front to the back of the car.
No circular motion on this.
Okay. And you don't want to go
And-
side to side. You don't want to do circular. You want to go
Nope.
front to the back of the car, linear motions.
And a lot are going to say, well, how much pressure? Well, you don't have to jam it down, but don't let it just glide over it. You want to then look and see. Now, you see around the edges where you're starting to pick up something? That's just in that little bit.
Yep.
Well, that's contaminants on the surface. Now, by the
Okay.
time we go over this whole area here, and you don't have to be too liberal with it, with your clay lube, but you want it enough to where you keep the surface lubed to where your clay bar can glide.
I got a question.
Please.
Why do you clay bar a car and why does it work? Like, what is the whole purpose? What are you doing?
Let me tell you a little bit about a clay bar. All the patents for a true clay bar are Japanese held, and there's no American company makes any, none. Matter of fact, they don't release the patents for it. So, with that said, no American company can sell you one because we can't make it. Now they make it from a red, and usually it follows the industry standard of color. Your red being the roughest, down to your superfine using a lighter white or lighter gray color on it.
Yep.
And the need of, well, how else would you take that off? And a lot of my guys that are going to say, well, just buff it. What about the guy that doesn't have a buffer? Maybe he might injure the paint with doing buffing if he had one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just take the easy route, clay the surface. Now let me take our towel and we'll take this excess lube off.
So all you've done so far is spray clay. After you wash your car, all you've done is taken your clay lubricant, taken the clay bar, run it back and forth in linear motion.
That's correct.
And now you're just wiping off that lubricant.
Let's wipe off that lube.
Yep.
Set this aside, have it over here. Now then, you want to come back, same bag.
Same bag.
And we're in the same video, so you want to say. And then if you miss any, you can. Then if you miss any, you can come back with a second time on it.
It's a completely different feel.
And then you'll have a couple little places.
Yep, I feel.
I missed one right there, and I missed one right here.
Yeah, but I would say it's improved by 80, 90%.
Oh yeah, and that's really in essence what you do, because you won't get it all the first time. So you just take your process once again. You had this area here, back into here.
Now on a car that has more impurities on the paint or on the clear, and you're considering clay barring your car, why would you go straight to Superfine clay, or would you use?
What I have a tendency to do is, on clay bar that's too rough or too abrasive, you start to put scratches into the surface, which defeats the whole notion of it here. So I might have to do 2 applications with this. Then, if it gets too dirty, you just
fold it up.
Fold it into itself. There, a clean surface, ready to start again.
All right.
And we'll do this, and it's tacky enough to stick in your hand. But now, guys, for all you guys, you ego guys like myself, if you drop this down here, be a man about it. Throw it away.
You can't just fold it up and keep going.
You say, well, maybe I can pick all them little granules out. Good luck with that, because the next time you think, I got them all out, you go up here and it's like, oh, where'd I get that scratch?
Yeah.
And that. So
we've all done it.
Be a man about it. We all tried it. Oh, I can pick it all out. No, you wind up with a scratch in your paint. Now it's like, oh, do I go to the paint shop, or who do I tell I've done this?
Right.
If it flies out of your hand and hits the ground, this thing is like a sand magnet. It'll pick up sand from everywhere. So when it does that, admit defeat. Say, okay, flew out of my hand. There. Now, wipe it off. Give it a little test here. There we go.
Let's feel it. Huh, that's incredible.
And that's what you want for your, and it doesn't hurt to check your car all over for that, because unless and until you get that off, then you're just going to wax your contaminants. So
okay.
That's not to sell your product, guys. That's when you've washed it off. Sometimes you can feel it and it's so rough you can feel it just with a natural hand. Put your plastic bag on it. Give it a try. It's like, oh, okay. Then it's at that point. Now then, if you're not going to take any scratches, if you don't have any scratches in your surface on it, you're not taking them off, say with fine cut compound or anything, you're technically ready for your wax. So this particular one here is Ultimate Paint Protection.
Yep.
And it's, oh, sorry. Some kind of an edge. And you want your applicator pad. Don't have your applicator pad where it's going to scratch the surface. So
right.
Don't have that too rough, you know. And you have, and on this, you don't need to have it. That's for the area we've done.
About
that's
$50.
For what I've done. Now you can put this on circular or linear. It doesn't matter. It's up to you.
Okay.
I know the traditional wax application is this, and that's okay if you want to do it there. I'm just going to go over the surfaces that we went over.
Okay, question time. Now that we're done with the clay bar, I gotta know, why do you need to wax your paint after you clay bar it? What's the purpose?
Let's give your paint and our clear coat a fighting chance. And you're saying from what? From UV.
Yeah.
Because UV will wipe it out. And you know, you guys are going to check me out on this, and that's fine. On some paints and our clear coat, they can get sunburn. And you're like, yeah, this guy's off his rocker. No, what it does is it has a tendency, the UV is so hard on, it starts a color change into your clear coat.
Yep, I'm gonna show you a picture right here. This is what he's talking about.
And it'll be a slight change of that going to another color. You know, and it fades it away. It's UV deterioration, what it amounts to. That's the big reason for the wax. Now, it's nice to feel, it's fun, shedding water and easy to wash the next time and all that. Yeah, those are all add-ons, yes they are. But the big one is for the protection of your clear coat / paint. On your wax, give it, on this particular one here, you can give it 5 to 10 minutes in your section. Sometimes if it's not blistering hot, I mean, you can put it outside if you want to. I just do the whole car. Wax around it, come back with my removal rag on the thing. And you see, this wax here doesn't come to a real white haze. It's just a real light haze that it comes to. This is dried here.
Yeah, you can see it right there a little bit. So you wait for the wax to completely dry before removing it.
And you say, well, what about if I left it for a couple hours? You can do that, it won't hurt anything. This is not one of them waxes where it's going to get so hard on the surface that you have to nearly grind it off. That's not the case of this wax here. Then when your time has elapsed, usually give it 10 minutes or so at least, and then just come back with your cloth. And I know they're going to say, oh, that's a setup vehicle. No, not really.
No.
This is my driver here. That wax is that easy to take off. It really is. Now,
this is what we started with. Dirty paint, we've all have it. Now look, clay barred and waxed.
Then give that a Parker touch there.
With bag or no bag?
Hand. You can just by hand.
It's incredible. All right, let's do it with the bag. What a difference.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, or it truly felt like the surface of an orange. And they talk about orange peel with paint, but you know, once you clay bar it to remove all the impurities that are in the surface or on the surface of your clear coat, and then you use the wax to wipe it off to protect it from the UV like you talked about.
That's exactly right.
It's an incredibly different feel. I'm just blown away.
What I didn't go over is your clay bar you can use on your glass.
Oh, you can?
Let's just say that if you felt on your glass with the bag and you said, man, the glass even got it. We can use the clay bar on that.
Really? Okay.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And then do you follow it up with any kind of Rain-X or anything? Or
You can, if you want to, you can do that on it. I have, and most of my vehicles on the thing, after I've got it completely clay bar on the window, I take my spray wax to it and give it a little, gives it a good coating.
The spray wax?
Oh, yeah, this spray wax.
Hold on. We got to show them about the spray wax because if y'all haven't heard yet, Sam's own spray wax is available on the Cletus McFarland website, and it is a hot ticket item right now.
Yeah, right now it's going along good on it. And I must say, and this sounds braggadocious, and I apologize, it does work. It works like it's supposed to. It's not just a fragranced water, you know, with a little bit of color. It actually does work.
Could they use your spray wax instead of the wax that you used, or is that different products, different purposes?
You could. Let's just say you wanted to do the. You know what we could do if you wanted to? We'll just drop back here to say, let's put this, let's just move right back here and let's do this.
Okay.
Then you may have seen this already on there, and here's his in person, with the person. You know, and that, oddly enough, that's not my brother, that's me, because I don't have a brother. And
Sam says.
But there it is. And it says, y'all ready for this? And it's really something to be ready for. And I do use my own stuff, by the way, on the thing, okay? And you need you a good quality towel.
Yep, so you get the towel and the spray wax. Yeah. Link in the description for Sam's product. It's been using it on all of our cars. It's amazing.
And the thing of it is, you know, can you use the lesser towel? Sure can, but sometimes you gotta watch on your towels, guys. A lot of times the towel, if it's too rough, you start to put light scratches into your surface.
Yep, it actually has two different surfaces, right?
Well, see now on this embroidery, this embroidery is made out of silk. Now, silk will not mar any of the surface on it and won't do any kind of scratching. That's the reason being for the silk embroidery around this.
Yep.
Is you don't want the embroidery of your towel putting a mark onto your surface.
Right.
So
okay. But there's two different lengths of the fibers. There's the longer fiber and then the shorter fiber.
Yeah.
So I like how it's silk bordered. I didn't know that. People were
and
asking about
that
that.
silk on it, what it does, like I say, it has no, this cannot mar your surface, cannot put any scratches in it. I like that about it. Some of the towels out there,
Okay, so to carry on about my question about using his spray wax instead of using a traditional wax that you used after the clay bar, he's gonna show us why you should not do that, right? I mean,
well, what you can do, I want to show you, I don't want to buy the cream wax.
Yeah.
Can I do it with just a regular? I'm going to show you the same process, and we're just going to use the spray wax, okay? So let's do that.
Yep.
Now let's start right here, and I'm going to take in from about the gas filler here to about here. In that area. Just think.
Okay, so we're getting the surface washed up, whether you use, you know, soap in a bucket and a wash mitt, whatever. You just need to start with a clean vehicle before you start clay barring. So that's essentially what we're doing now. He's using the clay bar lubricant, but the car's somewhat clean. It hasn't been, you know, waxed or clay barred yet, but, you know, we're gonna wipe it down before we start.
And we're gonna take this same area here, and we're gonna give it the same test that we had. Even though it's kind of on the side of the car,
Yeah.
but there's a little bit of a angular here. And we're gonna see, does it really need the clay bar?
Okay.
Oh, you tell me. You tell me.
Oh, yeah.
Right through here.
Oh, wow. I mean, this truly, it feels like sandpaper with
It
the...
does, and when you rub it on here, you think, well, I don't feel bad. But when you put it in the bag, and I used to tell people, you know, the product's free, the bag's $25, you know. But that's...
As a matter of fact, your spray wax comes in a bag that they could test their paint with.
You can use that. Well, good point. I didn't mention a minute ago, someone said, well, what kind of bag do we use? The little bag that your spray wax comes in, save that bag. It's going to be the one to check your stuff with. So let's take the same area that we got here.
Yep.
Let's take our clay bead. In our linear fashion once again. A lot of times you can hear it as it's working. You'll hear it, and after it's quit, the noise that it makes when it's taking it off of there, it's like, okay, we can move on to the next place. And someone's going to say, can you really do it that fast? Yes. Now, you may miss a level and have to go back second time, but that's okay. There's no law says you can't do that. Not yet, anyway. And you'll get, see that you start to get the discoloration on your bar here? And
Oh, yeah.
And the heavier that it is on the car, then it much more. And like I said, at that time, just fold it into itself. And you're saying, well, now after a while, doesn't that impurities you got to start to come out? You'd usually get by with about a 4-fold. And after the 4th fold,
Replace it.
replace it because it'll start to come back out again.
I like that tip. Pro tip from Sam.
So, and we're going to take this off.
For all of you watching this right now, Sam and I want you to take a plastic bag, whether it be from Walmart or whatever you have laying around the house, go out to your car and on a clean panel, feel it with your hand first, and then feel it with the plastic layer, and you will be astonished. This video doesn't really demonstrate how much you can really feel the plastic bag, but I am blown away. What did you got?
Now then, Parker mentioned one thing to you guys that I really think, well, he didn't mention it on video, but he said it to me, so I want to give it to you guys, and it's this. You know, after he touched that, you know what he told me? He said, you can really feel the shine. Now, can you believe that?
You can.
You can actually feel the shine.
You really can.
Now, and as you mentioned also, it would be nice if we could convey somehow how you can feel this when you're putting that bag onto it. It's like, wow, what is that on there? Well, that's what we're trying to take off. Not what we're trying to take off, it's what we're going to take off. So it just lets you justify, say, okay, I do need to do that. Because if not, when you put your wax on it, you're just going to wax impurities, and you put your bag on it and it still feels rough. Well, then the first time you wash it, they went to wax.
Yep.
And now then the wax has got a bad name, but anyway.
Right.
So let's take this surface here, and let's come back once again. We're going to put this same applicator pad, same wax, and we're going to go
Oh,
over
were
back.
you gonna do it with your spray wax?
It's a good point. Take 2.
So on this panel, we're demonstrating using the spray wax after the clay bar, and we're gonna show you why you shouldn't do that,
And then-
right?
No, it's actually, you could if you wanted to.
Okay.
Let's say if you didn't have, say, the regular cream wax,
Yeah.
you thought, what would the spray wax do? Yeah, but the longevity is not there.
Okay.
But will it still have a good shine? Yes. UV protection? Yes. Will it still feel slick? I'll let you be the judge.
You said it lasts for about, what, 3 washes?
You'll get 3 washings out of this.
Okay.
Yeah. And on your, we're going to do a how to wash a car video, and you guys are saying, I don't know how to wash a car. No, I mean really the proper one. It'll be a good one. It'll be worth watching. And maybe we've got things out of sequence on the thing, but let's do this. On your car washing, just as a little tip, make sure that your wash water is a kind of a pH balance, you know, somewhere in the 7 to 8 range. Because if not, you don't want it acidic, or you don't want it alkaline, because either one's going to wreck your stuff.
Yep.
So with that said, let's take us a little bit here of our spray wax.
Yep. Link in the
Now
description.
we're going to give us a little bit, and you don't need, after you turn it on here, and so on your, it's got your big spray,
Yep. And then your fan type.
and then your fan tap on there. That's more of a stream on the other one, so now we're going to give it a, and that's about all you need for that whole panel. Most people want to get up there and use it like a washing machine. No, don't do that. And you might say, after you get this, someone's going to ask, and I'll answer it for you. What is that smell that's in it? It's called awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah, that's the fragrance that we put in. I had them put that in there.
Okay, let's put it to the test. Now it should feel the same as the front quarter panel.
The same as your cream wax up here. This longevity just won't be there.
I see, okay.
So if you're saying, well, I just want to get the bundle, will that do what I'm looking for? Sure. So let's give it to the,
Oh,
into the service.
I mean, it's there. You can't feel anything. It's amazing. I mean, I don't want to do that as dirty surface, but wow, amazing.
And it'll have the same, if you'll come with me, and while you're there with that, it'll have the same feelings here.
Yes, it does.
Because this is a cream wax here, just have a longer life to it, if you will, more washes if you want to. But your spray wax has enough in it for 3 good washes that you're still going to shed water, still going to have a good feel to it, and be resistant to a lot of stuff that's on your road grime and all. Now then, guys, what we're planning on doing is to have a series of videos, and it's going to cover many items. And some of the items are as simple as how to wash a car. You're saying, oh, we got that. Bear with me. Then one on how to wash tires and wheels, and what's accomplished there, what's not to be accomplished, what products to use. When I say what products to use, what's not in the product and what is in the product. Then we're going to do some videos on, you can call it paint correction, call it whatever you like. It's going to be actually I've had some requests, both in person and some online. Someone says, how do you do that cut and buff thing? You know, how do you do color sanding? We're going to do a whole series of videos on that, from the very minimal up to some of the max stuff on it. Then with that too, and combined in with that, we're going to do some interior videos. How to properly shampoo the carpet so that you don't have a spot here. We got the spot out, we'll put a bigger spot in it. And how do we clean leather so that I don't take the color out of the leather and that I can restore that on it. So, and with that said, you know, if you'll stay tuned with us, you know, give us a subscribe here on the thing. Let us know that you're interested, that you would like for this to be a continuance, and we'll do our best to keep more of those coming your way.